it's been a couple of months that Beckhoff Automation released the new version of their software, TwinCAT 3.40.26, after the version TwinCAT 3.40.24. And in this video, I am actually excited to show you how to install this and make it up and running. So basically, I want to give you a brief introduction. So in this video, I will be showing you how to download the software, where exactly you have to download the software, what you have to do, and also we will talk, or we will install it in our machine. And also we will be able to fix or to prepare the system to be able to run our first program in TwinCAT 3. And yeah, this is quite a journey, and I think there's going to be a lot of fun in this. So, but before we start, I want to give you a quick introduction about what TwinCAT 3 is. So TwinCAT 3 is actually a software for automation, and it's built by the amazing company Beckhoff, of course. So I give now some credit to Beckhoff, but I want to mention that I am in no way affiliated to Beckhoff. So yeah, and the version 20 or 4026 comes after the version 4024. But before I explain what exactly is particular to the version 4026, let me first give a brief overview of the version 4024. So in the version 4024, which is the previous version of the software, everything was in one shell. So the runtime and also the engineering and everything that you might need for the software, or even in the lifetime of your automation journey, was in one software. And this was a quite big software. I think it was a software which was about 1.4 gigabytes or something like this, or in this range. And you had to install the software, and it's just like a house of everything, and you could do everything that you want to do. So you didn't need to add third-party stuffs with time. So, but now the new version is a bit different. So, and they call this old version the XAE shell. So it was like the shell, and not the XAE shell, but yeah, I think they called it the XAE shell anyways, but it doesn't matter much. But the new package, or the new version, is actually based on package management. And what does this mean? It's simply that, you know, you install only the packages that you would need. So you have to download first the package manager, which is a kind of light software. And once you have this software, you now install the different packages that you want. So generally, the first thing you need is, of course, the engineering. And this engineering, the XAE, is what you have as the engineering. So that's what, or the part of the software, or the software that enables you to do your programming. And we also have the runtime, and you can install this runtime also as a package. Yeah, and if you want maybe to add to your projects different things, like for example a database, you would have to install also with the package manager these database packages. Or if you want to use an HMI, so a human machine interface, which is more like a UI to visualize, you would have to install this package. And yeah, this is how it works now in the new version. So but like I said, today is kind of basic. We will just have to install. So we will install, like I said, I give the roadmap. We will install the engineering environment and also the runtime environment, and we will be able to run our first program. So now it's time to go into it. So like I said, I have a completely new machine, and to be precise, this is actually a virtual machine. So it's a new virtual machine. I have never installed any version of TwinCAT software, of the TwinCAT software here. So it's totally new, and we will go through the whole process. So let's go. I will go to the browser. Like I said in the roadmap, the first thing is I will download the TwinCAT package manager, because this is the initial state. This is what we will need to do every other thing. And yeah, so I just go to, maybe, I don't know, Beckhoff, maybe. Let's try and see what we have. So I go to the website, and here I will select the English. Well, now it's in French, but I can select any region, maybe of that speaks English, for example, the United Kingdom, so that it displays in English. And yeah, this is the website. I go to download Finder, and hopefully I can find here the package manager. So let me see, TwinCAT 3 package manager. Let's see what comes here. TwinCAT 3 remote manager. Is that right? I don't know. Okay. Package manager build. Okay, this looks quite interesting. So TwinCAT package manager build 4026. Yeah, interesting. This is already interesting. I think that's the guy that we need. So yeah, this is really interesting. It's really interesting. So I will download this. I think this is the guide that we need, but before you need to log in. So if you don't have already, if you haven't yet registered, you have to register. So, and registering, I think you would have to input some email address or something like this. But I did this before, maybe a few years ago. I don't remember exactly, but I just have to, I will log in because I have my login data. So I will do that, and I will be able to download the software. But if you haven't done this before, you just have to register. So you have to put your email address, and I don't know again what information, but I remember that it's quite easy to do that. So I put my email address, and I will hide this, of course. Yeah. So, and my password. What was the password again? Let's try this. Let me check in the downloads if I have something new. Okay. Yeah, I logged in, but let's see. I click again on it, and now it's downloading. Yeah, super, super. This is interesting. So this is actually the package manager, which is downloading, is the graphical user interface. And of course, there is the CLI, so you can also use the package manager in the command line interface where you can download packages. But this is the graphical user interface, and it's pretty simple, at least for beginners. But one thing I noticed is that there are some packages which are not available in this graphical user interface, but it doesn't matter. Like, I will talk about this later, but for now, this works perfectly. And for now, it's exactly what we need. So anyway, so it has downloaded. I will open the file. So we will have to install this package manager actually. So we would have to install it. Let's see, maybe I go to the file, or I just click on it directly to install it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I cancel this because I opened it many times. Maybe. Yeah. So now I just open it once. So, and it asks me, I agree to the license terms. Yeah, of course you have to read, but as we know, we know what we have to do, but I would say if you can read, it's a good idea to read it, but yeah, so sorry. And then if you agree after reading, you accept, you click OK, and then you go to the next. And now it's installing. So this is interesting. This is going to be an interesting journey, guys. It's so nice. It's so going to be nice. I like this. Go, back off, go, 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 go. Back off TwinCAT package manager. Installation successfully complete. Yes, yes. Guys, I am a programmer. Guys, I am a programmer. I just installed the back of TwinCAT package manager. Interesting. So yeah, let's see what we have. So I just installed this. So I will go to the Windows. Maybe I will search here package manager. Let me see if I see something. Yeah, package manager. Good. So I click on that. So I want to open the package manager. And basically, we will install the TwinCAT 3, the XAE, so Extended Automation Engineering. So it's basically the interface that enables us to program. So it's for the engineering part. And after that, we will install the runtime. So what is it doing? Connecting manager, rate system information. Okay, interesting. Okay, loading package information, configuration. Okay, looks good. No feeds are currently activated, therefore only installed packages are displayed. Configure feed settings. to see the content. Okay, I don't know what it means, but let's see. So TwinCAT package manager introduction. Welcome to this blah 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 feeds, blah blah blah. So I mean, it's good that you read this, and then yeah, configure feeds. Back of, yeah, the standard feeds are feed is default. Okay, so it's giving a kind of introduction. So I don't really know what this is all about, but I don't want to read all of this. So I really don't know. What are we doing? I cannot go to next. This is forcing me to read this because before I finish this, I would have to understand this, but I don't want to read this. I just want to program, guys. I just want to program. Okay, like at the end, I can't go for, so I just have to finish. So let's see. Welcome to the TwinCAT Package Manager. The TwinCAT Package Manager helps you to manage the back of software product or workloads, as well as single components with your packages. This includes installation, updates, the installation, downloading. Furthermore, a list of currently installed products can be exported and imported, okay, to the configuration in the configuration file. Yeah, no problem. Please do not mix the TwinCAT Package Manager with TwinCAT remote manager installation, which is this extension executable file. All TwinCAT remote manager versions are available via the TwinCAT package manager and must be installed via this tool. Existing build system can be automatically converted via migration tools. Okay, no problems. And then what now? So add new feed, okay? What is this feed, guys? Add feed. I don't know what this is. Let's just click here to say we want to add feed. Feed URL, feed name, choose folder. Okay, what's this? I don't know, guys, what this is. Okay, feed URL, outdated, feed stable. Let's see. Let's select a stable feed. What is this feed about? I mean, if someone knows in the comment, if someone knows what this feed is all about, please just put it in the comment section. I don't know what it means. So username and password. Okay, save. Let's try to put this before without the password. Okay, configure feed password. Okay. Anyways, so I will put the username again. So maybe I will try my email address. So exactly the one that I used for downloading the software and with the password also. So let's try this and see. Okay, save maybe. So does it work? I don't know. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Okay. One feed is there. Back off stable feed. Yeah, nice. Hey. Okay, let me read what they have. Backup software, including their components, are available via so-called feeds. The standard feeds are backup stable feed, the default feed, which is repository for official release. Okay, they actually described here what it is. So they additionally configured the testing feed. Okay. Okay, the outdated feeds. Okay, good. So we selected the stable feed and let's go to finish and see what we have. Yeah, the package manager is almost ready, guys. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so here you can actually see the package manager, and in the package manager there are a lot of packages that you can install. So it may be for motion control, if you want to do the OPC UA, if you have a project that needs this communication, or if you want to use the HMI in your project, you can always install the feeds. But for now, you see here is browse. So on the browse, this is where on the browse tab of the package manager, this is where you actually can browse any package to install. And once you install them, you will have them on the installed tab. And if there's anything among your installed packages which needs update, you will find it uh, on the update tab. But for now, yeah, so we are on the browse tab, and what we need is actually the XAE. So for the yeah, XAE, let's see, or let's see, TwinCAT 3 standard. So I guess this is what we need. So the TwinCAT 3 standard, here we have the engineering and the runtime. So let's see this. Yeah. Let me see. This TwinCAT 3 C++. No, this is the C++. Okay. But what we need is this. So we have here the engineering, which is the standard, and the runtime, but we would need both. So I will just install both. So I download this here. Yeah, now it's downloading. So this is the engineering, the part that enables us to do the programming, and this is the runtime when we want to do the runtime. So TwinCAT version. So hopefully it's downloading. So here you can always select what you want, if you want only the engineering or only the runtime. So I don't know what it's doing now, but I guess it's downloading. So apply modifications. Yeah, maybe we have to apply modifications. Are you sure you want to apply the selected modifications? Yes, why not? Please do it. Please back off. Please apply it. Yeah, now it's installing. This is quite interesting, guys. And this package manager is pretty new. The one I've used before is not like this, so I'm a bit lost. So now I have to accept that I have to allow that it does modifications to my PC. Why exactly, I don't know, but let's just accept it for now. Okay. Yeah, so now it's downloading the packages, and I guess also the dependencies for these packages. Yeah, it's installing that, and it's at 16%. Yeah, nice. While it's installing, I just want to mention that, back of they're generally working on their software, so it might be that you at the time of watching this video you have a different graphical user interface for the package manager, and even why not maybe also for the TwinCAT 3, but the principle or the concept is still almost the same. So you just have to read through and then try to see what you, if you know what you want to do, just read through, and of course you will be guided by the wizard generally, so it should be almost the same thing. So maybe the graphical user interface will change the position maybe of different elements, but generally you can always find your way through, because this is actually new for me, the package manager that I've been using. I don't know exactly which version that is, but this is pretty new, and I think this is really cool also. The way they designed it is, it's cool, more cool than the other one. Of course the other one was cool, but this is also like really nice. This, I think it's actually a great software. At least the graphical user interface. So this is really taking some time, guys. This is taking a lot of time. But time, we do have it. What we don't have is TwinCAT 3, so we should exchange, because that's why life is interesting. You always have to exchange. You give what you have to take what you don't have, and it's a deal. It's a deal. So it's a compromise. Just a concession. So anyway, let's wait. Dooby dooby doo ba dooby dooby doo. I don't know why I'm singing this song, but yeah, let me just sing it. It's actually a song from an anime that I used to watch when I was a kid. It was Phineas. und Ferb, Phineas et Ferb. And yeah, there was these animal, domestic animal, Perilornithorynx. I don't actually know what this animal is. Maybe I could just search what is an ornithorynx, but this is in French, so I don't know in English what it means. But maybe I search to find out what that means. So let me see. Um, Perilornithorynx. Mhm. And then when this, and he was always fighting. So this domestic animal was always fighting with um, what's his name again? This guy. He always had a new machine that ended with Thor. Like for example, they he would have something like he would build something like the biggest uh, water ball needs a Thor, like something that does something and then it ends with Thor for no reason, you know, or the destruction at all, something that will just destroy something. And he always have stories about his childhood when he was a child. Quand j'étais petit garçon. So it means like when I was a small child. So he will always give stories of how things didn't go well for him when he was a child. And because of this, so he decided to create, like, for every experience or bad experience that he had, he will create something like bad to revenge himself. And you know, it's, but yeah, when he used to fight with this domestic animal, there's this song that used to come. TwinCAT 3 backup. I like this. This is interesting. When I see this, I'm like really amazed. And yeah, but like I was saying, and he used to fight, and then when they're fighting, he will, this song will always be singing, you know, dooby dooby dooba dooby dooby dooba, or when this animal will go and destroy his plans, because his plans was always to conquer the world and maybe destroy the planet or do something like this, and this domestic animal was always there to like prevent him from doing this. Yeah, yeah, but why does it come to my mind? I don't know, but yeah, I just sing it. Yeah. Okay. Ornithorynx is actually in English platypus. Okay. Yeah, ornithorynx, it's in French. You know, this is what happens when you have French as your native language. And his name was Perry l'ornithorynx. L'ornithorynque. Okay, even in French, I didn't know how to pronounce it well, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Perry l'ornithorynque. Perilornithorynque. Perilornithorynque. I mean, in English, it's quite easy. The platypus, Peri the platypus. 99. 9. Starting installation. 100%. Guys, the modifications process was successfully completed. Yes, yes, guys, I am a programmer. Guys, I was able to install the extended engineering automation and also runtime. Yes, I am a programmer now. Yes, yes. So I don't know what I just clicked. Was it close or whatever? But yeah. So now on the installed. Okay. So on the installed, you have the standard. So this is still browse. So when I go to install, I see that I have two installed, and you can always see. So an update is empty because these are the latest versions, and there is no way to update this, you know. And here we have this is the engineering, and this is the runtime. Okay, the TwinCAT standard, and this is the TwinCAT standard remote manager. The TwinCAT standard remote manager enables the handling of various versions of the TwinCAT 3 development environment on the same computer. Engineering, TwinCAT standard remote manager. I don't know exactly what this means, but I think for now it's not important. Maybe I can make some research. But if anyone knows, maybe you can write in the comment section to let me know. And I think also during the installation, they said something like this when they were talking about the feed and where to install the where to install the packages. But anyways, so what do we have here? Download. I will remove this because this actually came. I did this after I had launched the installation for the other one. So we already have what we need, and I think if we now come here and write TwinCAT 3, we will be able to see the extended environment, or maybe we might need to reboot. I don't know, but let's just try. So TwinCAT 3, and yeah, I saw something like this here. Yeah, TwinCAT 3 XAE shell, 64 bits. That's what we want. Yeah. So it's loading. So the XAE shell means extended automation or automated environment. I don't know if it's automated or automation, but all I know is that there is auto in there. So it it works for now. It works. So, but it's just the environment where you have to program, like you have to do the engineering stuff. Yeah, nice. Version 3, okay. TwinCAT. Yeah, let's wait, it's loading. So like I said, I installed this on, so I guess I can close the package manager now. So just let me just close this because we are done with that. And yeah, this is the TwinCAT 3. Still loading. I will also close my browser. And yeah, let me close this browser. No, I don't want to turn off the machine. I just want to close the browser. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is the environment and it looks quite good. It looks quite nice, but there are some things which are great here, for example, the run mode and everything. But let's first create a project. I would really like to change this view first and put it in dark mode. I don't know exactly where to do that, but let me just check for some seconds if I can see where I can change this view to dark mode. So where I was it tools and options, I guess. And here, color theme, it's light, and then I just go to dark, and hopefully this should work. Yes, dark mode programmer. And yeah, like you can see, we are on the TwinCAT 3 environment, and you notice that, I mean, for people who are used to Visual Studio, you notice that this interface is actually Visual Studio. So like I said before, there are a lot of items which are great. I guess it's because we are not here in a project, so we cannot go online, and because there is no project and no code, no program. So I will just create a new program, so probably on file and new, probably, and new project. Yeah, so, and the project I will create is this one. Actually, you can create a TwinCAT PLC project, but I want the format. So the no, yeah, I think this is the complete project with the complete folder, but this is just a PLC. So, but I guess I am right. So, but anyways, we just go and I will just use the default data here and create my project. So project TwinCAT project 1 and so on. So I just use the default data which is here, but of course you can change and write it what you want. And yeah, so it's loading and creating the project and creating the project files. Hee. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, this is taking quite some time, guys. It's taking quite some time. But anyways, time we do have. What we don't have is the TwinCAT 3, And that's life. It's exchange. You give what you have to get what you don't, you know. Yeah. Yeah, and I want to take this opportunity to talk about TwinCAT 3. I mean, I think it's a great software, and one thing that really strikes me about this is that it's free. It's completely free, and it doesn't matter what package you want to use or whatsoever you want to do. Everything is free, or I mean, the software itself is free, but most licenses, even if you don't get the paid version, you can always use a trial version for 7 days, and you can renew it as long as you want, forever. And I really find this to be interesting. I don't know how other vendors work, but I think TwinCAT is really a great product, from the software to also their hardware, because they have a lot of hardware as well, and they are really good from my experience of the little hardware that I've worked with, or even the software. They are really good. Yeah, yeah. I just want to give credit to TwinCAT 3. I don't know. Again, I don't know other vendors how they do. Probably they might be better or maybe not, but I don't know. I've only worked before with TwinCAT. I don't know. So if some of you guys have some experience with other vendors, maybe just write in the comment section. So just tell us how do you feel about them. But for me, I feel really good. Of course, there are some situations where it doesn't happen how you want, but for the most part, I think it's really a great software, or it's a great ecosystem that they build. Yes, yes, guys. So now we have the software, or the project files, everything organized, and yes, or at least we have a new project. So this is the project, and yeah, so we have the whole project. Actually, it's really interesting. This is the basic. So, and it's just divided, and you can see now we have this is enabled. So this is the runtime. If you want to start the runtime mode, yeah, and this is the config mode. This is where we are presently, and this is where you do the programming, and this is the runtime where it's running online. And this is if you want to activate the configuration, so meaning what you've programmed, if you want to bring it into the runtime. But yeah, let's not talk about it for now. So we will set up the system. So I will first give maybe an overview of what we have here generally. So this system is where you have system information. For example, the cycle time, and also the task. As you can see, we will come to that later, because we must actually come to this, because we must actually. But before that, here is this motion control. You can always add a new project here for motion control, and so on and so forth. But for now, we are not doing anything with motion control. We just want to write our purely basic PLC code. And here is the PLC. You can have a PLC project as well. This is for the safety. So if you have a safety logic, a safety project, maybe for your emergency stop that you want to program, or it doesn't matter. This is the safety. And this is for C++. And it's actually interesting that you can actually write code in C++ and connect it with your PLC program. So if you want to do that, this is where you do it. So you have to include, so right click here and include a C++, a C++ project. So I guess now it's not enabled, because probably we would have to install the packages of C++ before this would be enabled. So I guess, I'm not sure, but I think that's the case. This is for vision, and this is analytics, and this is for the hardware. So if you have hardware devices connected to your PLC, this is where you manage the hardware. So where you scan the hardware and you do everything and configure the hardware. But for now, what we need is just a new PLC project. So we will not add an existing, because we don't have an existing item to add. So we just want to create a new PLC project. So, and this PLC project, you can either select an empty which I won't, but or a standard PLC project. And the difference is simply that the empty PLC is just empty and you have to configure it. So you have to add the folders, the folders that you want. You have to add the files. So the main, I think the main will be there, but you have to add files. You have to organize it and everything. But I don't want to do that, because there is already a blueprint that exists when you take the standard. So I will take the standard. I will also leave it as default name, but you can change it if you want. And simply add. I add this, and it's going to create our new PLC project. So now we have our new PLC project, and when I open this, it has organized everything. We have our libraries, the basic libraries that we need, and then the POU. So these are the main, and if you want also to add other function blocks, this is where you might add them, not necessarily. This is for global variable list. So if you have global variables, so you can declare them here. You can always add everywhere, but this is just a template that they make, and then this is for visualization. And yeah, and this is the task for the main. But anyways, it's already a good start. So let me maybe go to the main and open it, waiting for configuration. And yeah, so this is also white. I don't really like this, but anyways, it's white. So this is our programming environment. I will change this later on, but for now, let's just progress. So this is our programming environment, and this is where you can create variables or write your program. You can also add different function blocks and write your programs, and so on and so forth. So yeah, the next thing I will do is maybe I will just do, like, let's just go head down, so and see. What I mean by head down is normally when you program, you have to, before you run, there are actually two things, but let's just go head down. And when we encounter the difficulty, I will tell you how to fix this. But I first thought I would like just tell you what you have to do directly, but no, let me just go head down. We go and then just write our program, and then we implement it. It doesn't work, and then I tell you why, and so on and so forth. So let's just go down. So for our first program, let's say I will just maybe create a variable that I will increment, and if it reaches 100, it decrements. So I will create my variable. Maybe here I will call it var, for example, or not var, because I guess var is a keyword. So I will call it maybe n integer. Let me write it like this. Or let me use the Hungarian style. Maybe because it's an integer, I will use n and then integer. So, and this is going to be an int, and yeah, so let's leave it like this. And in my program, I will say n integer. I'm going to put n integer plus 1. So let's see. And I would say, for example, plus 1. I don't know why this is red, but let's see, this expected. I mean, n integer identifier not defined. Okay, I guess maybe you have to build it so that it takes it over. But anyway, let's just take it first. So plus 1, yeah. And we will say maybe that here that, okay, or like if n integer is less than, I don't know why you have this n with capital. It doesn't matter in the TwinCAT 3, but just for convenience, let me just write it the way it should. Oh God, please. The problem was that I put the integer. So yeah, right, true. So let me copy this and put it here. So I didn't notice that I wrote it wrong. That's why it was red. So if this is maybe greater than or equal to 100, so we want it to, so then we would So we will decrement it. So I just copied this. So I just decrement it. And I just put -1, and when this happens, this will probably go till 0 and go to the negative numbers. So I would say, okay, let me think about the logic for a while. I would say, okay, I will say maybe, so here, if the n integer, okay. So if it's less than, I think this is better. If this is less than 100, or no, that's completely less than. So then, if this is less than 100, then we will increase it. So we increment. So, and else if it's greater than or equal to 100, then we will decrement it, right? So unexpected else. I don't know how this else if is written. Okay, like this. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the syntax is really interesting sometimes. So you have to. So basically, what I do is like if it's less than 100, if the variable is less than 100, we increment it. But if the variable is greater than or equal to 100, we decrement it. No, what's going to happen here? No, no, this is not going to work. So if it's less than 100, we increment it. Okay, to be simple, if it's less than 100, we increment it. So we add it once. So basically what I want is I start from 0, I add it, I increment it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 100. And when it reaches 100, I start again 100, 199, and so on and so on. So that's the logic that I want to implement. But for some reason, I don't know, my brain is not, I cannot do it. So let me just think for a while to implement this logic. Well, yeah, the thing is I don't want to use a second variable to like tell me the state. But yeah. Yeah, I think to be easy for to I don't know if I think you can do it in many ways, but to be easy for me, I will just use a variable that will tell me what it needs to do or if it needs to, increase or decrease, So I will use a bool. So b, I will say maybe increment or decrement. Let's say it like this. So this is gonna be a bool. So I will say normally the bool, I will start with 1. So the first initial state is going to be 1. This would mean that we would have to increment. So I declare it to be 1 or true. It doesn't matter, it's the same thing, but I put true for convenience. So I will say if b increment, then so so then then we do this. Oh no. Increment or decrement. So if increment or decrement, then no, let me remove the or. So increment slash, I will use a slash because or might mean a lot of things. So I will say slash decrement. So if increment slash decrement is true, so true will be to increment and false will be to decrement. So if this is true, you do this. Easy. So, and now I will say here that if, so if an integer is greater than or equal to 100, then we want to be to change this. So I will put here false or zero or false. Let's leave it like this. So, and here I will say, okay, else. So this is simply the else. So it means, yeah, if this is not true. So if, yeah, wait. So if this is greater than or equal to 100, you do this false. And then you will maybe say an else if this integer, let me just remove the else if, let me just put another if statement to say if the n integer is equal to 0. So when it decrements and we reach 0, so I will say here then this we put it to true. Yeah, so this is true, and we go back here. So exactly. So let's just start, and this means, you know, we have to increment. So let me just review the process again. So I say if b increment, so if this is true, it means we have to increment, and it means else we decrement, you know. No, yeah, decrement. So this is minus. So I review. So if it's true, it means we have to increment. If it's false, we have to decrement. Exactly. So when we start, it's true. Okay, we increment, and then we don't decrement. So we say if this is the case, we turn it to false, but it's not the case. It still remains true, and integer is going to be it's not going to be 0. So this doesn't matter, but it's already but the b increment slash decrement is already true, so it goes, and then when it reaches 100, so this if it's greater than or equal to 100, so we will have the b increment which goes to false, and this is not satisfied, and when this is false we go to the else, and yeah, I guess this works. So I guess maybe this is not the most appropriate way of doing this. This is maybe not the best algorithm, maybe in the shape and also maybe in the sense behind it, but yeah, I think it does the job for now. So when we write the code, so now we can compile it. So I want to build it to see if there is any error, but I guess there shouldn't because nothing is on the line. So I guess everything should be fine. So I can go to the output and build to successful or up to date, 0, failed, 0, skip. Yes! I wrote my program and there is no error inside. I am a programmer. Yes! Yes, programmer. Yeah, you know, it's interesting when you write some code and then you compile for the first time and there is no error. Of course, I'm using TwinCAT 3 and it has the build or the support of Visual Studio with all of the debugging, you know. I'm not coding in Notepad or something like this. If not, I would have had a lot of errors. Of course, like even at the beginning, you know, I didn't spell the variables right. So, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So now we have compiled our program, and the next thing we want to do is to run this because we want to see the variables going up and the variables going down, you know. So, and we do that by activating the configuration. But like I said, I expect that this won't work, but let's just try it. But yeah, if it doesn't work, I will tell you why. So I activate the configuration and it's going to prompt me or ask me if, okay, yeah. So local, so the target is local. This simply means that the target, so we want to run it locally because there are a lot of possibilities. Like you can see here, you can always no, here you can select choose target system, and you can do this when you have connected a PLC to your computer and you program with your computer and then you send the program to your PLC, you know. But for now, we want it to run locally, so on our PLC, on our PC, our computer. And one thing also to mention that I would like to mention here is that it's quite interesting, the power of this automation or of automation, of industrial automation, because it's possible actually to use your laptop or your PC in the factory. Maybe, yeah, we would argue it's not the best, but at least it's possible. And there are PCs which are designed for that. So, you can just connect some terminals to your PC, and then you export your program, and everything is running in your PC, where you would not need necessarily to have an industrial PC. But it doesn't matter. Of course, you would also be limited to a lot of things, but yeah, it doesn't matter. But just wanted to note that. So when I go to activate configuration, it tells me local. Of course, I want to do it locally. And this is the name of the project, Auto Start PLC project. I don't want this, but it doesn't matter if you say yes or no. But generally, I go in before I start it. So this is asking if you want this project to start running. So if this starts working or running when you go in, but I don't want to select this. I just say no, but it doesn't matter actually. Yeah. So I go in. So I say yes. And now description, setting, TwinCAT run, shared cores inside VirtualBox. Blah, blah, blah is not possible. Okay. Activate a solution using only isolated cores. Yeah, so exactly. It's like I said, I expected this to come, and another, I guess also something else. So there are actually two things we have to do, but this, I will explain it. Some required runtime licenses are missing. General trial license. So yeah, I say yes. So why not? Let me just put the license. So it's 5, and then M2 and C. And okay. So like I said, like I said before, this is the trial license, and it's fine, and it's already there for 7 days. You can always activate your trial licenses, so it doesn't matter. But this is not for the software, because the software is free. This are for other packages. I will explain more of it later. But like I said, we couldn't do this because there is something we have to do first. So we have to, like it said, we have to isolate the cores. So I said we go the head down, and we see what happens. So basically what it is saying is that, you have your system, your Windows system, and you want to run the program. So you want to go to start the runtime. But before you do this, your processor, your system has a lot of processors, or at least more than one. And you have to isolate one and tell it that, okay, this processor, I want you to use it only for the runtime, only for the program to run, and to separate it from the Windows, because some processors are working on the Windows, at least all, I guess. And then you have to say, no, I want to isolate this processor so that it works only, it doesn't work with Windows, but only for my program, only for my runtime. So, and to do this, you need to go to system. So on system, and then real time. And on real time, I want to read from target. Let me see. So when you read from target, you can see the number of cores that you have. So let me bring this down to be able to see all of them. So when you read from target, you see the number of cores that you have. So you have 0, and all of them are shared cores. So basically, and you can say that, so shared to isolated, this is the ratio. So you have 8 cores, so or 7 cores, and I have 7 cores. Of course, you might have a different number. And like I said, this is a virtual machine that I did. I'm using, it doesn't matter, you can use another system, a normal Windows system on a normal machine, not necessarily a virtual machine. But yeah, so what we need to do is to isolate. So I would like to isolate 2 cores. So I would like to dedicate these 2 cores for my runtime, so that it doesn't mix the task with Windows, because now it's selected on this core 0, but this core 0, like you see, is shared. It's shared between Windows and the runtime. So I want to isolate 2, and when I do that, let me bring this back so that you see. Yeah, I have only 7 cores. I guess this should be like this. where you have two isolated and and the other ones which are not. So, and you have to select this on the isolated core. It would work on one, on two, on depending, it doesn't matter, but at least you need at least one to be able to run it properly. And this one should be isolated. So this is the thing, but I will just select two or just one anyways. So, and this is just saying, because when it's not isolated, sometimes you see the task, it works on the Windows and then it makes a break to go and work on the runtime and makes a break to go and work on the Windows. This is, I don't know if it's possible here, but I've already experienced this with the engineering PC where you have this happening. But here it doesn't even give the possibility to run when you don't isolate. So I isolate this and then I have to set on target. And yeah, here you can also change the cycle time, but for now it's not important. So just set on target. And yeah, I think this should be, yeah, we set 5 to 2, yeah. And generally it would ask us to restart also, but set new, set this on target, yes. So changes need to reboot to take effect. Reboot your system, yes. So we will have to reboot it to be able um, to see the effect. So here we are. I just rebooted the system, and now I want to start the TwinCAT 3 again. So I just write TwinCAT 3. I open this, and yeah. Well, I want to open the project that I opened last time. So I have to open this project and continue from where we were. I don't know if I saved this before, but hopefully it saved off all of our modifications. So I right click maybe and open. This was, yeah, TwinCAT project 1, yes. And hopefully it saved all the program, because this was a hard program that I wrote. I mean, so hopefully it saved it. So yeah, but I think it should have saved anyways, because I didn't actively do this. So, but hopefully it saved it before closing. And I think it did. Well, let's see. Yeah, the program is still there. So, and let me check the course. Read from target, isolated. Yes, so now we have our isolated cores, like you can see. So these are shared and these two are isolated. So you always have to select on select the shared. So, and leave your system to work only on the isolated. So you can select 1, 2, or 3, or it doesn't matter, but it should be on the isolated. And yeah, so this is fine now, and we fixed one of the problems, but I guess there's still a problem, so this won't work. I don't expect this to work, at least, but let's just go and see if it does. So restart TwinCAT in run mode, yes, why not? Ah, it's working. Okay, interesting. I actually didn't expect this to work, for the second reason that normally you have to disable the virtualization, but I guess I had already done this on this machine, but uh, for a lot of people it's not going to work, because you have to disable the virtualization. So, and you can just do that by going to the word, the yeah, the search task here, and then there you can search on install or control panel. So no, control panel. So I want to close this. You go to control panel, go to the search task bar and type control panel or uninstall. So I will type maybe control panel, and you open the control panel and you go to uninstall the program, and you go to turn Windows features on or off. You wait that this opens, and you go to, there's something about virtualization somewhere. So virtual machine platform. So now it's disabled. But if this is enabled, you have to disable it. And normally when you disable it, you click on OK, and probably you would have to reboot your laptop or your computer before it works. And I think it should work, but maybe it won't work, but there's also a way to disable virtualization from the BIOS. And you have to restart, and maybe you can find some videos. I will do maybe in the next video or in future videos how to do that. So first try this and it should work, I think. And if it doesn't, then if it says that still you have to enable the virtualization, or sometimes it comes like a code with something written like an error message with something like 100 or 1000 blah blah blah. I don't know what it means. So this is generally that. So when this error message comes, it means most of the time that you have to disable the virtualization. So like I said, you can check online on YouTube how to disable virtualization, but after doing this should work. So yeah. And if it doesn't work, check how to disable virtualization from the BIOS. And when you disable virtualization, you should be able to go online. So to load your code and go online. So when I go online now, I expect that, so the application port does not exist. Yeah, so yes, I don't know what this means, but yes, it works. So now you see it's not started. And I can just start this now, and I expect that it's changing. Yeah, I can start. Now it's true and it's 0. It's true because I initialized this as true, and the integer is initialized at 0. So, and now when I run it, so play, and it's incrementing, and when it reaches 100, it's decrementing, and this is working. Yes, I am an engineer. Yes, yes. So this algorithm is maybe not the best way to implement this, but at least for now, or for the purpose, it does the job. It works. And always remember the first law of programming: never touch a working system. So if the system is working, don't touch it, of course. Yeah. So, but anyways, I think now we have reached our goal, the goal of the day, or at least of the video, to implement TwinCAT 3 and to be able to run our first program. So now it's running, and yeah, in the next videos, I will again talk. I mean, there are a lot of things to talk about, but I would like you to suggest maybe in the comment section if you have anything that you would like us to talk about. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope this video helped you and that it contributed maybe to your learning. And if there's anything you want to suggest, or maybe also to contribute, or any question, please put it in the comments.